So for class today, we're going to be creating Google Slides. Now, Google Slides is something that allows us to create a presentation. Now, the nice part about doing that is that as you're going through school and you have different projects and different things that you have to share information on, a presentation will allow you to go through and share that information in an exciting way. So for class today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be clicking on the Grade 3 button on the Sites page. And when you click on this, it's actually going to ask you to sign into your school account first before pulling this page up. So what you're going to have to do is sign into the same account that you would use for the Chromebooks or to sign into Typing Club. So again, the same email that you always use, and then for the password 000 and your lunch number. Now, once you get into Google Slides, we're going to be taking a look. Here we have all these different slides on the side. Now, normally you don't have this many slides to work with. However, for today, I went through and I created all these different slides so that it made it easy for everyone to find their own. So when we first get in, you're going to start on this title slide. And then there's a slide that has some instructions in case you forget what to do. And then down underneath that, you have all these different slides. And in the bottom right-hand corner, each one says computer and then a number. So you can just look to find your computer number, and that's the slide that you're working on. Now, just a little trick to figure this out. You'll notice that over here, there's numbers as well, but they don't match up. So right now I'm clicked on 7, but slide 7 is actually for computer 5. So if you take your computer number and then just add 2 to it, that will tell you what slide you need to be on. So let's say, for example, you sit at computer 28. Well, then you would want to go to slide 30, and then that would bring you to 28. Now I'm going to go ahead down here to computer 30, just because we don't have a computer 30 in class. Now for today's class, what we're going to do is you're actually going to be adding a text box. So right up here, we have all these different buttons. So we have a text box, and that's going to, when I get that and I have this little cursor, I can click and drag out to add a box on. And then this is going to allow me to type into it. So once I add a text box in, then I have this cursor in here. And once I have this flashing cursor, then I can type. Now what you're going to be doing in class today after adding your name is adding another text box where you're going to write 3 things about yourself. Now, one of the things that I like to do for that, since I'm doing different things, different sentences, I want to actually add in bullet points. So over here, I'm going to look for a button that says bulleted list. Now yours may not show up right here just because my screen's a little bit bigger than yours. So you may have a button up here that says more, and then when you click on that, it gives you more options underneath, and bulleted list may be one of those options. So if I click on that, it's going to add a bullet point, and I'm just going to type 3 things about myself. So let's do, I have a dog named Oscar, I have a son named Cameron, and I can't wait to watch the Patriots win the Super Bowl, hopefully. So those are my 3 things. So right now I have my name on my slide. I have 3 things about myself. And now, if you're looking though, my slide isn't that exciting. So I want to go ahead and change things up. So after I get all my text on here, I want to go ahead and I'm going to change what my font looks like, my colors. So I want to really go ahead and start customizing the look of my slide. So what I'm going to do up here is to get back into a text box, if you double click in it, it will bring my cursor back up. And now if I just click and drag, it's going to highlight the text that I have here. And now I can change it. So one of the things I can do, I can go in and change the font. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. That's very small though. I'm going to make it bold and I'm going to make it much bigger. I want it to be something that really stands out because it's my name. This is my slide. So now I have that, and again, if I have it highlighted, I can also look for something here that says text color. Now, one thing you'll notice is as I hover over different sections, there's a box underneath that drops down that shows me what this does. So let's say that I want to do this color here, so that looks much nicer, much better than it did. And I'm going to do the same down here. I'm going to change to a different font, and I have all these different fonts I can choose from down here. And I'm going to change size. That's a little bit too big, so let's make that smaller. And I'm going to change this color as well. So maybe I'll do orange. You know, it's a little bit hard to see. Maybe I'll do something like this instead. So now I have my name, I have my 3 sentences, and it looks much better. Now the other thing that we can do for today is we can add shapes in as well. So if I go to this section up here, I have all these different shapes I can choose from. So you can go in, play around with whatever shape you want to For mine, I think I'm going to make a cloud. So here I have a cloud. And once I add a shape on, if I have that shape selected, if I've clicked on it, I can click on the Fill Bucket tool. And I can change the color of that. I can change it to whatever color I want. So maybe I'm going to do, maybe I'll do like a gray. And then this pencil here is actually for the line on the outside. And I can even change the size of that line as well. So now I have a cloud. It's kind of a menacing looking cloud. So I can change that a little bit. And then I can go in and add more shapes as well. So I'm going to add, maybe we'll have a lightning bolt coming out of that cloud. I'm going to change that to a yellow color. And then, maybe there's going to be brighter days after this. So maybe I'll add another cloud, but maybe behind those clouds, I want to add some sun. So maybe the sun is going to come out later on. So I'm going to change that to a different color as well. Maybe I'll go with like a color like this. And so now you can see that I have all these different shapes, but I want to change this up. I don't want my sun to be in front of my clouds, and I actually want my lightning bolt to be behind my clouds, and I actually want to change the direction that it's facing as well. So if I have my lightning selected, I can click on Arrange and then Rotate. I'm going to do Flip Horizontally, and that's actually going to change where my lightning bolt is coming from. And then what I can do is I want to actually bring my clouds on top of all this. So I'm going to have my clouds selected. And I'm going to click on Arrange again, and then Order, and then Bring to Front. So now these actually go on top of my lightning bolt and on top of my sun as well. And I'm wondering if there's even like a raindrop in here. Maybe I could even do a raindrop coming out of that as well. Let's see. That kind of looks like a raindrop, right? So I can do that and then rotate it a little bit. I think that looks like a raindrop. There we go. And I'm going to make that blue. Maybe I'll do that. I like that blue. So I'm going to do that blue. Maybe a little bit of a larger outline over here as well. So now you can see that I've added, just by using the shapes, I've added a little bit something to it. Now the only problem is with that, it's now covered up my text. So I can also bring my text forward as well. So I want my text to be on top of everything else. So again, with my text box selected, I'm going to go to Order and Bring to Front. And now you can see that that's on top of everything else. But now that's hard to see, so maybe I need to change it to a different color just to make it a little bit easier to see. Let's see if that's better. It's a little bit better. And I can even maybe kind of move this over a little bit so that all of my text is maybe not even going over the picture as well. So that's something that I can always do also. So just by taking this and playing around with it a little bit, you can see how much of a difference we have from going from a slide like this to a slide like this, where you can really customize it and make it into your own. So go ahead, play around with that a little bit today. Again, I want you to add your name, 3 sentences about yourself, and you can change the font color, and add some images or add some shapes in as well.